and corn, lots of strings and horns. Over the beat, swing of a one. Outdrum the outcome, the child. An atlet is back in action, fact not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials. With whack acting, from commercial to action. I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass as Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society. Where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying street. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restorer or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late or hollow years. See the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace. Where each one teach one to reach one. Freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little sun, I got Brian I could think to. I blink through a wrinkle in time. Rip Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too. To link you to source, yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They wanna extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your presence liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun, the reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. I teach you up. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This is a call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Some store each clan better. Planting the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Iberians and traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for treaties and oath. Why expect more from those who want to conquest except war? They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds were on rape, miseducations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Washington, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods where we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Hardly cushion. It's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot this sheriff meeting. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this canonical. If your brain's deeply manacled, release or get treated damnable. Used to be Hannibal, I talk Black Hawk. Fighting the line, now the Chiefs back with bulk. That's big muscle drip up to tussle with Uncle Sam, big brother and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Plant and the devil to stand the weather. Sound strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors. based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back, before I was knee deep out in them streets gangling. Prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise. Eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I bring the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jinn's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us for the Pontius Pilates, Kiheras, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, books, maps, paints, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watch my uncles create music, so I beat drums, play keyboards with my dad, the guitar he strummed. Didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True story. This is based on real life. It's before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, it's what it feels like. True story. This is based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations. Now around it feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First noticed her standing in my b-boy stance. Leapt at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors. I got sore from the workout. It was me, Chili T, my man Shabazz, Muhammad, and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach. Yo, I rocked her. World with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh. Up at Basma and on commercial, attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard, roughed it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula, Yusef, Rashid, Stony Island Park, CVS, Schooler, Battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with Sass on the damn rhyme. My guys, Dickie, Tron, advanced planes have advantage. I do this for you and the true TUT clan is the bandits. True story, it's based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all of jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like.
Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean, so Caribbean. Yeah. Yes. Bounce to this. I'm just a black man title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And what you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat. You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, past sinful acts. Be very nimble, Jack, or Jill will get a water back. And have your heart broke just like a heart attack. Look where your power at, no, not them idle cats. It's deeper than taps and hurricanes and old maps. The spirit flows, so my folks throw daps. Meant for the wise as well as the spoiled brats. So you can fold up or either you can fold back. I hold no judgment over those that have chose crack. Terrible habit that has been proven to hold back. With God on your side, you can get your soul back. Yeah, we need some 3 parts on this, man. Yes, sir. I can't carry my boys at chorus. Come on, line up. Yo, we need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you can work it out, but work it out. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of the mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near to you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew. Heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So through the knowledge, that means hold your head. Let the past stay dead and keep a level head. And don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like times in a rock, but you got us hot from working on your block. By the end of the night, how deep this music is. What is it profit the man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Mike's handed, I'm speaking candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demand it. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General media bandit. I blow flows on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more times in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There'd be many that stand whenever I rip, but it's devastation whenever I rip. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit. You fake rappers need to understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs don't make a true MC. And I will do more than talk this talk. I will defiantly walk this walk. There's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it profit? Ancient Chinese secret now. Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class, partner? Wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun, nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo? Yo, you've been getting in the way and what you knock you down. Yes, but we gon' bring the light, yeah. A Max B production, baby. You know what it is. Listen.
You is tripping, cuz. You tripping, cuz. Every time you eat that, you like you got a good, you got your crack, you got to run and take a poop.
It's a struggle just to live black. Can you picture that, Mr. Aristocrat? I'm coming from the bottom, rising to the top, and conscious is the tone on the CDs I drop. I won't flip flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days, when we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the fairy rock which put your people in bondage just to get 100. The big face kind, and it don't matter if it's making people lose their freaking mind. That's why I'm speaking mine. Hopefully they change yours to pull you out of these streets from these drugs and strange whores. Huh. Does anybody care? Is it love?
Brings the song back in my soul. Anyway, what's happening, y'all? I guess you can see that. What you call it? And delusions. What's cracking? What's cracking? I know it's so-called Monday, and I know people are running around crazy. As you see, I had to share. Hold on, I had to share what these idiots do because I like it. You see, some of you will say, "Oh, you're just capping," which is because you don't think. And I'm not here to beat nobody up, but we're gonna grind this morning. Okay? People don't think. And that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. People will never come together. Okay? Trust me. You won't come together. Only a handful will. The majority won't come together. They won't come together because it's one of the hardest things to do. They went as far as to go into my tablet, which is fine, diagnostically and everything. And Instagram is, they're about to shut a lot of these platforms down. And it's not because that was part of the plan by the Rockefellers, like the fake pandemic, everything. All right. That was written. Okay. For those who never looked at any other forms other than what you've been guided to look at. But seriously, it's always been there. Hold on, guys. Okay, hold on. Good. Because everything they're doing is irrational, but rational. And people want to come together because people just can't get it together. I watch people look, it's like people are racing to find information to one up themselves over everybody as if it's some big thing. I'm surprised and not surprised at certain individuals that I've noticed who like poor information, actually bad information, actually very wrong information. And I'm not surprised. But what I know is I know how it ends. And you would think even the enemy doesn't know how it ends. If he did, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. I don't care about no hell and all those things. Even the enemy, even his little goofy agents, black, melanated, whatever the African American, Indian, whatever they want to call themselves, it doesn't matter. Let me go out. Stay right there. I'm not going nowhere. Stay right there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whew, excuse me. That was good. What, they gonna clean that apartment out every day? Anyway, hey, baby girl, so how's it going? So I informed everybody on Facebook because I'm about to close it. It's not because I don't like certain people on there and follow certain people. There's certain information being put out by certain individuals who are Google masters, and the extent of the information. It doesn't matter if they decide to travel in the last 4, 5, or 6 years, because there's some who have just started traveling within the last 10 years, and it doesn't denote nothing. But in the last 10 years, a lot of things have changed compared to 30, 40 years ago when I was first traveling. Hermoso. Hi. Anyway, so it's funny. It's funny. I saw some people that we used to follow each other, and some of them were just Google masters, and I used to look at these individuals, and they didn't really know what I knew. And there were other people who are no longer here who knew what I knew, or some of the stuff, and they were always priming me for more information. Telling them Kwasa Yokode, Chief Darian Two Bears Ross always was asking me about information. But these young individuals, whether it's Yamasee Nation or up in New York or Florida, Seminole, or whatever, we have these certain Negroes, because they think. Well, let me give an example. I was married to a very dark Puerto Rican, knew her history very well, been to Puerto Rico too many times. There's no such thing as many times. Been to Cuba, been everywhere, Panama, all over there, round the horn, so-called southern tip. Anyway, and I was married to a Puerto Rican that was looked white or light skin. She had more. You'd be surprised when you start knowing the truth of history. I remember talking with her father, my father-in-law. Man, he was it's like my big bro, man. And man, you couldn't say nothing about me. I remember saying to him, "Are you aware that some of you might originally be from North America?" He was like, "Yeah, we stalked a lot of brothers in Vietnam, and yeah, we're all aware of it." I was like, "Why is the rest of the world so ignorant? Look at your wife's sister's husband. Yeah, no, he's a little pale. I says he's a crypto fucking Jew, and he acts like one. And he used to be like, but you know what? He's still family. I know, but if he says something to me wrong, I'm gonna knock him. And I told him that. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just sharing information. I mean, UFC and everything's on here, and I got friends who got fight channels, and they keep the green icon all the time. So you see, there's a game. But anywho, right? And I can speak this way because I have different black belts and this, that, and degrees in fighting, and I'm well versed and hands on as far as what's the perception of it now. But so he says, no, I'm aware. You have these idiots, and I used to challenge my wives, and I used to the Christian religious wives. I don't believe in that, never did. I would have loved to have them both together and been to both of them making babies or whatever, and they would have been better off. I don't get into the word polygamy and monogamy and all that goofiness, but you get these individuals that marry somebody, and because of their so-called love for them, they will sit there and go, well, I'm indigenous, and these people will fight for them. And what's the worst thing is when you have niggas, fat lip niggas, Negroes. It's digger tribe. People don't know about that. These are words that are created by the very enemy that runs these platforms. Who will call brothers who are probably more indigenous than them wabbos. When did that start? See, this is why you need to pay attention to people who get a little something. To compare to those who ain't really got nowhere, this is the dismantling and the systemic breakdown that is created by the enemies. And now you see certain individuals partaking in that same nonsense because they think they're better than. And then the funny thing is you got ones with dreads and fat lips as dark as midnight talking about, oh, and the abos. Not me. Oh, I would love to hear one of them try that nonsense with me. Then you have these ones pushing this, everybody's mixing. No, you're not. If that was the case, then the changing of names to acclimate you to be an African American very recently within the last 8 years would not have happened. This is the dynamic of the brazen foolishness of so many, the stupidity. And I'm not surprised at the ones who are standing behind it. And what surprises me are the brothers, an author, people with many years who like on some of their posts. No, I am aware of two distinct people that were here. I am also aware of the people who conquered the lands. Now, they visited here, but their existence is not as long as you think. And what these light-skinned people have a hard time understanding is they were the original slaves to these Gujars. Not to us. And even when the melanated people who fled Europe came here to marry into our families, they were just coming back to their roots. See, when I hear these so-called fake Yamasee leaders or whatever, and these fake people in New York who pushing this, the Bering Strait, when you only got Russia and China and Alaska 55 miles apart. I've been on boats where we sailed over there and back when we were told to leave internet. It was international waters before we got there. But because of who we were, they weren't too bad, in the 80s. They were like, oh, these are, and the waves can get pretty rough out there, but we're sailors, When you're on a big, I can't say the ship, I can't say the yacht, the Invitation from Alaska. And now in hours, we're right there off the coast, right, not that far from Russia. And they want to talk about some thousands of fake years ago when it was a great civilization. You have people wanting to denote the truth of great civilizations because they want to be running around behind the woods in tutus with feathers in their head, to which didn't happen. Okay? I look at these individuals and I used to give them some kind of form of praise. And today I have to renounce that praise because I see the arrogance of their ignorance, and it is based upon knowing their diets and what they partake in, and the solitude they think we have with information. And it's sad. It's very, very sad when the hope lies on individuals like these. And some of them will come over here and watch these videos. It's easier to unfollow me than it is to argue with me because you're not going to have some fake win. It's not because I'm well versed, it's because I actually know things. And I'm not hyping it up because I always express to people based on resources and information to find out for yourself, to look within yourself. And you're not going to mention the things that you know. Who would do that? That makes no sense. Unless you really want to set up this fake, I'm going to use this word, Jesus persona. The Superman falling in the Christ-like crucified because, to the sun and then grabs his strength and the Son of Man. And first of all, what y'all need to know, the importance of words. I've stated it and I was wondering, hoping if I was I'm going to speak when you understand it. I was hoping that y'all would get it and say something, but you hadn't. What's going on in this world when they say those are man-made clouds? Man would not do that to man. Man would never betray man. Never say man-made again. Do you get where I'm coming from? Man-made chemicals. Man does not do that. And I'm not saying for you to go and start looking at slee stacks and everything else. I am stating you stop giving energy because they see themselves above you. They see you less than a man, 1/3 or whatever they big numbers they made up. When you are the actual solid, the original form. You have people now running around talking about, you actually have some crazy light-skinned folk, Reagan babies, from the, you know, when he opened the cuckoo, and that was all done based upon what was required. In these books, it talks about that. When he let everybody out of Bellevue crazy and everything else, and they got out here and got the drugging and everything, you thought they were normal, procreating, making babies and everything. That stuff befalls the children, the offspring. They knew this. You didn't. Some of you marry some of these crazy fofos, and some of you still are, and you haven't accepted it yet because you're a little marginalized better than the rest. I would love for somebody to come and prove me wrong. Like I'm going to put everything out in front. These individuals are not you. Never call some scientist a man. Never say man-made clouds, man-made poisons, man-made this. Man's not making none of this crap. Man is in confusion, conflicted. The enemy of man is a mirror image of him or her. And as you are ignorant, they are just as ignorant. These are things that cause people to capitulate, to allow a subservient narrative. Some of you will look upon me and say, and start realizing, wait a minute, he has two faces. Most never noticed. And I'm not saying two faces and two personas. Distinctively, two individuals. Baby steps. Baby steps. I have to remind myself, because I be wanting to throw everything out there. Well, based upon where I'm conceptualizing, and I need you to see beyond your perception of what you perceive when I'm expressing things. So Wednesday, I will be completely deleting every Facebook account I ever had. Every history, everything. Now, the enemy will hold it. Stupidly. Everything I've done has been a form of spell on there, but not for you. If they was as smart as they were, they would just eradicate the information. But I've been casting spells on all my videos and all my lives and everything. If you was to go and watch them, and I'm not asking you to, you would actually start looking at certain things and seeing these things. I've been doing this since Logbook became Facebook. I had to write a lot of stuff down to get that, you know. I had to study a lot of things, a lot of sleepless nights as usual, a lot of bad dreams, because when you're dealing in that, you start walking into places that most of you shouldn't walk. And I enjoyed it. It's like rehashing. That's why when I accepted who I was, like I said, almost 6 years ago, it was a beautiful thing. So all I've been doing is casting spells to these dummies. That's the narrative. They paint spells, or whatever you want to call it. That's not what it's called, but to each their own. But we have these individuals, and these are Google masters. Google is the worst platform to use for information. What do I always say when I share information off of Google? And I got other platforms that I utilize. I say, please. Oh my goodness, these people are going crazy on TikTok. I go there because there's a few people that got real information, and they're not on Telegram, and I'm able to download it because Instagram is it's the same as Facebook. Even though TikTok is ran by them, but you can still download something without it being, all they'll just remove it if they don't want you, but there's always somewhere where you can get it. Telegram, usually people have it, or I know where to research to find the videos and stuff like that, just to share with you. But like I said, when I don't feel like explaining something, excuse me, I'll have people reach out. They always nudge me, look at this, and I'll look and I'll be like, yeah, and we'll chat. And then I'll say, well, I'm going to share it with some people. And I always say, well, give me your take on it. You see it. Google is a bad platform unless you know how to utilize it as a jumping block or a stone to get the first skip, to find that right stone before you can get 6 or 7 skips. Sometimes across the lake, you have to start sometimes with a sinker. You get what I'm saying? And that's all Google is. When Google was being updated and they shut down the Library of Congress, and Wikipedia had been shut down for so long because you see the young knucklehead Gujarat they gave it to, it was now to misguide, redirect, and to qualify misinformation. So every time I see somebody talking about stuff, places I've lived, where I have family and everything, and being fortunate enough to know all them old heads because I enjoyed, it was indicative of me. And everybody in my family saw that. I always had to be around people 20 and 30 or 40 years older than me. I am, and my grandma, everybody say, Red's a little old soul. And if they only knew. But I used to be like, what are they talking about? Because you got to remember, I wasn't being nurtured as I was supposed to be. And those who were supposed to come to me and give me whatever was meant to be given to me had not arrived. So as we have it, there were those things put in position to ensure that I would be on the ride of my life. To when my so-called biological womb mother failed me. She was 17. My father was 20, 19, I think, and on his way to Vietnam. 18 when she had me. So yeah. I was 65 and 66, and she was afraid of me. Remember, we're exposing things. This ain't nothing. So anyway, these platforms, you have to use them as a piece of the puzzle. And not everything, majority of the stuff in Google is pure caca. Pure caca. Okay? And I see these people who go out and research, and the first thing they do is they run to somebody. Remember I was explaining to y'all about the brother in Mexico? He's a dark-skinned brother. He's no longer amongst the living, so what I heard. He wrote a book, and he knew the history of the true Mexico, and he was dark as midnight. I says, no, we're the original people. You have people now, the new thing, and I don't know where it started from. I don't know if I started it about 12 years ago when I says Olmec don't mean what you think it means. It has everything to do with an original people of a period of time, a period of time everywhere. Just like the people she, when they say she, that's just a term. Was there a great war? Of course, there were people. There were individuals, not people. There were individuals messing with things, because when you start messing with stuff for greater power, you start tapping into things that you're not supposed to. And what happens is an unraveling. That means an undoing. And so what happens in the undoing, it looks like power, but it negates the other side of what power is. And so you get the Green Lantern and the Yellow Lantern. You get what I'm saying? You get the Jedi and the Sith. You know what I'm saying? Or the Vaders. You get where I'm coming from. I'm using this, it's exploratory, but I believe surgically it may assist you in putting a couple puzzle pieces together. So now the thing is, now you got people running to South America thinking they're going to find somebody that knows what Olmec means. And the first thing they do is they run to those mixed individuals, not saying they don't have the answer, but they get something based on a story that is based on those who had established themselves as emperors. You have these Negroes who call themselves indigenous, who may have a CIB or whatever, as if that means something, who practice some new age cultural stuff, and they believe they're over you. The arrogance, it happens. Power corrupts. They're not humble at all. And I read their posts, but they will sit there and run to these people as if they have the answer because it's South America. I've been all through more than any one of these goofies, all through so-called South America. That's not South America. I'm so tired of this stuff. I'm telling you, the South is the center point up there where they say the North Pole, which is a place where they can't even reach, that has things you can't even see, lakes and stuff that suck in, waters disperse, come back out. And the North is the outer reaches that go out, and every land has these things. What is geometry? Isn't it an algorithm of frequency that's steeped in the color of music, or the music of color, which equates to frequencies, right? Frequencies is the color of music, right? It can be erratic or it can be balanced and harmonic, right? Right now, in y'all's world, this one right here, if you take the rainbow and then run your fingers like this, like Etch-a-Sketch or something, right? A kaleidoscope, that's not healthy, and that's where you are at. And they want you to believe that their emotions and their feelings that drive them is the answer. So whenever you see one of them communicating and they're putting a big poopy sign emoji, or bull in front of it, or they calling you the N-word, or abo, or wabo, and the stuff that the enemy utilize, you should really question, why are you there? Do you know how you defeat the system right now? Well, I've already given you the other thing, 10 to 15 or 12 and whatever different ways, 4 ways. You stop watching the news. You stop conversing with anybody with it. You remove yourself. No excuses. Stop buying all that crap in the grocery store. How many of y'all have called the Apple companies? How many of y'all have called the orange juice companies with the glyphosates? How many of y'all called the water companies? I'm just asking y'all. And you don't have to curse people out. You just got to remember, most of these people are going to utilize that against you. How many have called? How many have called your fake congressman and says, no, not today? You make sure he gets it. And if you want to ignore it, then I'll make sure I send 1,000 letters. 3 every day for the next how many months? See, y'all are lazy. Oh, somebody made a donation yesterday. Appreciate that, beloved. I believe somebody, and that's not me getting on. See, some of you feel like he's going to try and get on my, get me in bad my. No, I've asked you to make the right decisions. I'm not begging nobody. I'm asking you all to help me because I like to buy books, and I believe that I can break books down better than anybody. And that's not a challenge, nor is ego. This is based on what I know and who I am. Sylvester, appreciate that. I think I might have hit the heart yesterday. I don't remember because I went to slumber. I slumbered early and I woke up again at 3 with this one meowing me. I enjoyed it. We just purring and meow all over my face and setting me up, and so I appreciate that. I really do. I'm gonna hold off, like I said, to Tuesday, Wednesday. I've got to go over there, take the yellow slip. I'm not even in a rush to go to the post office. Y'all should know, man, like for real. Propaganda is phenomenal. I fell asleep. Well, okay, I fell asleep by 8:30 because I was reading. Baby girl, I know you're gonna get this book, girl. Anyway, not to get off target. Let me finish this because I don't want it to be. I like it to be at least warm. I'm really some people will say, well, Rick, why don't you reach out to them and say, hey, well, do you know what it's like to be in an area where there's towers and stuff and frequencies are being changed just across every day, and it's actually having an effect, and you can see it. You see it. I know when they do it here, my body reacts different. My knees that I'm working to heal will swell up, not swell up like what you think. You can't even tell. I know when the frequency changes, not only do I hear something correlate with the frequency I've tuned into on my own, but then my wrists will act a certain way. And then my eyes will see something, not like what you think. It's What I do is I get a piece of paper and I grab my little paint pens. And certain colors, I put dots down. And I'll look at the dots and I'll say, okay, they're doing something with the frequencies. Then I'll pull out a meter of mine from the military, one that I purchased that's just, if not better, and I see, and then I go and check my harmony and my frequency meter on the phone and my tablet. And then I have another thing that I check, and I see like a oscilloscope, the fluctuations, and so I know when they're purposely doing things. Y'all have no knowledge of that, do you? Now here I'm saying it. I'm giving you little bits. And so maybe you might start utilizing that. I even have devices that I can wear that will show me when so-called, which is frequency. Again, radiation is a very high tempo, very fast moving frequency. That is like a laser, becomes physical, whether it's chemical, liquid, or sound. You get where I'm coming from? So these individuals are being affected. Well, I can't say as to what's behind it. I just know that it's bigger and apocalyptic than you can imagine. And in the throes, without groaning or grunting, which is unequivocally the worst sound you would ever want to hear if you're not making it with intentions. But that it's attempting to stave off the inevitable. But when you go, that's focused. It's just like the cup. You know, you believe it's a vacuum. Well, what is it? What frequency is coming out of that? And what if you change it? Change it. Change it. What is it? What is the benefit of it? See, this right here is medicinal. This right here solidifies to violence, right? 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 To violence. What does this one do? What does it do up here? These are the fragmented parcels that most don't really study or know because you wouldn't apply them. So something is going on in New York and New Jersey. Something is going on in Louisiana and Virginia. Something is going on in California, New Mexico, here, and there was Colorado. There is something, and based upon levels, mountains, minerals, deposits, they're fine-tuning to get everything, which they've been working on a while, to be caustic, to be effective. And they've been fine-tuning it. Remember I was showing you and I said, I'm going to stop because I don't think nobody's giving it. I'll come down here. Let me pull it up on here so you can see. So let's just use the Electro Smart, something a little simple, okay? Now, I never use location, but I will allow for the moment. So right now, I'll clear up just to make sure it's perfect. I'll go to my settings and I'll empty the cache to make sure, based on the device care, to make sure that we're pulling something that is really based on, and this is pulling from frequencies. That's how they're able to read with these. They can read your biorhythm. They don't have to see it. They pick it up. How do you think the internet or your your router can put you in a certain position, even moving in like a green outlining figure, moving through your apartment? They don't need the TV to see you. I'm clearing. I am clearing. Just give me one moment. Anywhere from 1 to 2.5 gigabytes. The free space eradicates what error may be there. Now, there's still a marginal error the way these work. These are not like devices that you can physically wear. So let's go over here, hit the Electro Smart. Continue anyway. So right now it's at 69. It jumped to 70. I go upstairs and it usually is at 38 to 40. Well, in the last 3 months, upstairs has jumped up to 65 and down here anywhere from 75 to 80. That is pretty much roasting you. That if you have something in you, it's causing it to activate. You don't have to believe me. I talk to many people, and they convey in me that they don't feel too good today. They're sick more than often. They're very tired. When I expressed to y'all over the last 2 years to reset on your birthday, I meant your real birthday, the day you really came into this world. And you have to fast for 3 to 5 days. You have to do some weird stuff. But for 3 to 5 days out of how many years you've been alive? So-called years, so-called alive? Sacrifice is what's your problem. You are afraid of death. Yet you are dying every moment. And I'm not talking about age. The more less you do, the more you truly die. None of you have learned to live. And there's people who want to start calling each other names because they feel some kind of way, because they're agent provocateurs who don't know that their destruction is imminent. And they don't get what destruction is. Because it's easy to listen to people that dismiss religion, not knowing the foundations of how it was created. Or the purgatory was meant to encapsulate you, the box of Pandora's to instill you in. Everybody's intelligent and smart. As if that's supposed to be the key to unlocking and stopping everything when you don't know the first thing about what's going on. I would love to see them stop. But when you're running around in a city so fast, where where everything is attitude, I feel like one of the first ones to break free of that. And it was a rough job. Because I wouldn't argue. I would go in the gym and box. And then if I got into a physical altercation, which I've had many, and let's say if I got the upper hand and night somebody, right? I didn't stand over them. I didn't go on this berate them. I actually would pull them in the street. I'd pull them up on the curb, or I would say, get him some water. He's breathing, and everybody that knows me from the Bronx and Brooklyn was like, yo, are you from Brownsville? No, man. And then when people found out, oh, he got hands. And we're talking about my grandpa, I'm with this. I'm with the agency. And it's not just my grandpa. It's just in my family, my father. How many of y'all studied the real story of the Chickasaw? Not the made-up one, the real story of the Chickasaw people. And you should already know about the Anahuia. And you have people, when I was using these words all my life. You have, and when people started utilizing them, they didn't even know what they were saying. And I'm like, you can't just start throwing Anahuia on your name, and don't do that. That's a disrespect to people's true ancestors. And people will always, and these are the ones who I always thought were kind of agent-like. And I don't like saying the word agent. I'm giving power to something that's stupid. People who are not too bright. But that's why I said, just utilize the name you were given. And stop thinking about putting Cherokee, Anahuia, this, that, and on it, that you're manifesting something. Be silent. Don't be a part of the absurdity, as if you got to prove something. See, that's what's wrong. That's the enemy doing that. So I go back 45 years using the term passed down to me, Anahuia. You see how I said Anahuia? You don't even hear the Anahuia, as people say, or you might have heard me pronounce them to get you to say it. Anahuia. And people say they go, well, and then you have these enemies who never use the term. They're trying to pronounce it with their little accent based on a so-called New Age fake Asian narrative, which we're the Asiatic people. And That felt good. Don't, my head is clean, so relax. So with these things, you get where I'm coming from. It's like it's always some friggin' perversions, and everybody's supposed to just go, yeah, okay, all right, okay, it's okay. No, I've been saying for a long time using these terms, and people act like I'm crazy. So all the people from my episodes, this is my grandpa, Dynamite Charlie Wright. Was a cop in Newark, New Jersey, retired with the Ford Company too. Families out of Colorado and Georgia. Come to find out, even though he married my grandma, we're actually all related. It's what I'm saying is blood related in a way that you can never understand. It's different than you can even understand. Cancer took him out. You know, the perversion of the cigarettes really, and the stress of the world and everything else. And I was in the military, and I came back home. And when they cremated him, I was just sick. And at the Reverend Wright, when they I didn't get what that was all about. But the misplaced notion of ashes to ashes, dust to dust, man, that's not who we were. We didn't do that. And the family knew I was real perturbed. I was angered. But when you got real history, and you go as far as to say something doesn't make sense, and you start looking all through the crevices and cracks, things start to stand out. So you have these so-called individuals who are like you and I, who will go after the brothers using terms by the enemy, calling them abbles and wabbles, dark as midnight and light as hell, married to individuals, and some gay and not willing to admit they're gay. That has nothing to do with our ancestral heritage or history ways, but you have to accept the narrative they paint because it befits who. That's some liberal nonsense. And most people don't know how to convene and say that. Well, I would love for them to challenge me. I would sit there and I would, well, like I said, yeah, okay, sociology may be a major of mine, but I use it as a vice for better clarity on why people function the way they do as things are changing based on, how do we say it the other day? The terraforming. So people be like, yo, you're from Brownsville? No. So I never got emotional. That's why I was able to work with the guardian angels for 7 to 8 years. Be selected to go out there and train. He passed away a year ago or something like that. James Stretch over in Brooklyn, Coney Island. I used to change in this gymnasium. We'd be in the churches in the bottom, getting it on, and the Neptune Beach parades every year, and working with the Japanese and all the other people who were guardian angels. From Japanese were fierce, bro. Them Japanese guardian angels, boy, listen here. Some of the Korean ones too. Listen, boy, y'all don't know about the world y'all live in. You know? You're right. You want to spar? I'm in there. Because I'm the one that love to spar, man. Because I wouldn't hold back. You got a little, that's a real good feeling there. The respect and what comes with it. No animosity, no envy. It was based on profession. And that if it didn't work, we didn't use it. And we have a lot of things in this world now, and people letting their feelings and emotions drive them, and that doesn't work to heal. It doesn't solve anything, so why are they using it? Well, manipulation's a mofo. And people are bothered because you call them Google masters. They think that they got the answer and they can find their way through. No, you can't. And if you got to go to Google 24/7, and your argument is to talk down to people, I'm not doing that. I'm pointing out facts. And then I'm pointing out things that or questionable. But some of y'all are stuck. That's why I said I'm getting rid of the platform. I don't care about monetization, and people know that. I'm getting rid of it because we're at that last leg, and most people have not changed at all. They haven't changed one bit. I was going back looking through, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you an example right now. I went over here. I'm not gonna show you how much is in here, because every time, like I said, if it gets to like 75, I get rid of it because they want to charge me too much. So what I do is I go over here and I go all the way back and I look at the people's names who ain't on here, and I go, wow, are y'all really bent like that? And I've heard a couple of excuses that are pathetic. I pay the difference for your little $2, $3, $4, and $5. It's two sisters and a brother that sent over $100. And I got some of the great best books, but I had to match all that. And here, there's some of you sit up on here all big doogie, and you carry on like you're nobody. And I look at all the books I purchased. You know what? Including with y'all in the last so-called year, right? I look at it and I count. I do the math, and I've actually added everything up, and I'm like, wow, I've literally spent about, out of my own cash, a good $8,000, while y'all together, I spent about $2,500. So there's something wrong with the math not mathing. And yeah, I have some expensive books. Snoo could tell you. And then baby girl bought me a book because y'all were lacking. And even though I could have bought it myself and I was about to, well, I wouldn't have shared it with you. I am more appreciative than anything. And I really want to read those, but I know that I have to walk y'all in a certain way. Just know I can't deviate. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to argue and fight with people. That's the energy we don't need to share with one another. And I'm not bad-mouthing the individuals doing what they're doing. I'm looking for rational expression. And that's why I'm saying the things that I utilize to look at the frequencies. I talked about, yeah, I'm pointing out the things that may be caustic and having effect, because it does. I had things tested on me in the military in 86, 87, and I'm seeing it put in a major scale way. And everybody acts like they're normal. Only thing normal about you, and even that's abnormal, is how you look. Excuse me. That's about it. And it's those who are doing the best they can with what they have and taking suggestions, because I don't have all the answers for it. I just have suggestions when it comes to that can benefit you. And when you rise to a certain point, then maybe you will see, and you won't have to say too much, but you'll be able to guide others around you, because you're living by it, and you're a testament to whether it's the truth and it actually works. There are a lot of people out there right now. They walk down the streets in these cities and suburbs. They go to the Nathan hot dog truck. That's not beef, and they buy these hot dogs with that soy bread with BHTs and sorbic acids from certain Hindu bug booties and everything else, and mold, and they have this position and they talk like they know what they're talking about, and they believe, because that means lack of knowledge and knowing, that they believe in what they're saying. And I'm able to look in and say, even with this body that has been wrought with all the same things that is rotting y'all, I express to you that you can change it. But most people don't want to hear it because, they're too caught up in their little fancy world of false determination and destruction, emotions and feelings that drive them, and egos and everything else of this, and their disdain is of self. Because when they're talking to their brothers with these terms and everything, they're casting a spell upon themselves and they're unaware of it. It doesn't matter who they are, the other ones. It doesn't, every one of those so-called individuals that lynch somebody. I wouldn't care if they were from a Earth 3,000 light years away. There's an effect. This is a fact. This is a fact. There's an effect. When there's a cause because of a false will, there's a way, they say, right? You think that comes without? Well, put a battery in some water, take it out, don't wipe it off, and put it into your device. Let it sit there. Turn it on every once in a while, but then the day it don't come on, go and attempt to pull that battery out. You think it's sealed and it's solid, huh? Well, talk to me in about 2 months, 3 months, when you open it up and you see all that green and white powder and chalk and it's stuck to the spring and the battery's dead and what happened? Well, it's the same thing with you. You think you're solid and sealed. You got holes all over you. You think that everything going on has no effect. Y'all stuck to a spring with chalk and green and mold and everything else and you don't know it. So again, I look at it and I actually wrote down every name in which y'all donated. I went all the way back. And I was like, I was looking for certain individuals. And I says, is it selfishness? Is it some false narrative? Is it because you lack self-responsibility that you can't be responsible to help and assist and be part of the whole thing? Do you think that I would have you living with me and then we running up bills and you can't, but there is a narrative behind everything I do. If I am, Tucson is what we always say. We don't give an actual direction or place unless you're truly coming. And we chop down some trees or we're making fires. If I got to run down to the stream and grab some water, and I say, I need you to take the flint and the ferro rod, I need you to go ahead and get a fire going. And you're sitting there and you haven't even gotten a coal, a spark, or know how to, and I come back, well, what happened to the fire? I was gone for a half hour. Well, I really didn't know. Well, you didn't put the time into the effort, but you sit there and you conspire in your head as if it's normal and all right. As I said 4 days ago, I would hate to have died. And they said, let's get a GoFundMe for Chief Red. That's what y'all call me now, some of you. Taylor Quassa said I was a chief, and I don't like the word. I can see some of you sorry Negroes sitting there. Man, I ain't giving no $10 to $20, and I guess they expect me to give 100. You're the ones that I wouldn't want nowhere near the tribe. I wouldn't really care about I wouldn't care about anything that happened to you. Not at all. Or any decision you made that made your eminence removed. I wouldn't care about you. And if you knew what I knew, to which you don't, thank goodness, you would be doing your best to pass this little test, but your inaccuracy of thought, your inadequacies, and everything else that has made you have not changed or removed yourself from being. So that girl, we got these Negroes. Diggers is where I get niggas from. I don't use how can I, as a melanated being? Okay? Are the very ones cursing their own people. It seems like a reprobate mind. These individuals will come over here and they'll watch this. They all do. They won't say nothing. And they'll run off like little effeminate things, not knowing why. I did a video on Facebook to my family and everybody saying, how can you be wrong and then want to whoop children and tell them to guide them right? But when you've been wrong and you realize that those same very children have figured out things and found it out, you don't make the correction that you wanted them to make so bad, to be obedient slaves. And instead of being now 70 and 80-year-old aunties and uncles to make the correction, as used to say, even an old dog can learn new tricks. Well, be that new dog. Be that dog to show that you learned from the mistakes and the errors after you had so long to live, without saying I apologize, but say I have learned But see, ego and this personification of I'm older is supposed to mean something when it means nothing. And this is a very sad state. And now you see why so many of you are in the predicament that you're in. I truly hope that inspires you to see more than what I'm saying and get something out of it. So I know many of you follow these individuals. I don't have to say names because there's many. I hope you make better choices. I really do. I'm using these terms because I know you understand them. You know, when it comes out of my mouth, I'm sitting here and conflicted when I say hope and all that else because I know what they really mean. But I know I can utilize it because it'll apply without me casting a spell. So there's no energy being behind it other than the notion that you believe not knowing what it means and utilize it as such until you figure out what it truly means. And then when the knowing is applied to you, then we can convene and convey and communicate on a different level. But until then, I will use this language. And it's like I said, I don't want to cast no spells. So you can do things without giving it energy. The problem is most of these words, and if you all start practicing it, you have a feeling behind it. Say, I hate you. Even in not having something to focus on to say, I hate. Tell me right now what saying, I hate, you don't have an emotion behind it. That's energy. And yet the word hate, the conviction of it, shouldn't exist. It only does because there's no polarity. Because you think love means something when it actually is a flip around word when it means evolve. It didn't even exist in the past. Eternal. Order. Bonded. Strength beyond comparison of anything. Anything can be broken and separated. The thing is not to be broken and separated, to which most of you are. Let me get out of talking this way because I don't want people to be conflicted, confused. And as I said, baby steps are important. And I need you to remember, we're not the same. And that's a beautiful thing. Remember, beautiful, your day. So I appreciate y'all. And again, brother, let me go back to the top because I wrote all this stuff down in my notes. And I took your names and I for an hour and a half, I mapped up everything and it was beautiful. Again, Sylvester, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this wonderful. I wasn't going to drink no tea today, but I love tea. And I'm not going to be eating till about 2 o'clock. So I'm going to sit back. The sun comes out even with the cool air and the luminary, the brightest luminary. I'm going to enjoy that today. I think I'm going to put on some booty shorts and take my little foo-foo out there and sit in my little beach chair right out in the back when the sun's right up. The hottest is as long as you get up there. I don't watch the news. I don't get to meet weather. If it don't, then I do it tomorrow. And I'm just going to soak up some sun, do some squats, you know. Appreciate y'all, man. I hope I did pretty good. No swearing and cursing and all that, right? No talking bad about certain people and stuff. I hope I made sense. I'm going to go ahead and shout you guys out, and I'm going to shut it down. I don't know how long I've been in here. I really detest looking at time and stuff, but an hour and 13 minutes. Wow, went over, but it's all right. So, delusions. You know I got you, beloved. And note 424, you know I got you. I ain't ready to go slaughter Grand Ascension. You already know, beloved. Oh, Mac, what's up, beloved? I was going to ask you about Earth Speaks on TikTok. He has some good information, but I'm careful about how I follow. Yeah, just information. Remember, we don't shoot the messenger because the messenger is going to bring messages. We don't have to like the messenger. Shouldn't hate them either. I don't have no hate for these individuals I was speaking about. I have good messages, but something has been going on that I've been noticing. That's why I said let me go ahead and address it, because when people start going with self-hate, and that's why I was adamant about emotions, feelings, and something's going on, we don't make excuses for them, but we point it out. I'm not going to address the individuals. They'll come and look. And if they don't, so what? And somebody who follows them will come and say, what are you talking about? Because people are single-minded on a single track. But the thing is, it will have an effect. Everything I've done for so long has had an effect. And I'm just gratuitous and grateful of it. But Earth Speak, I follow him. I love what he does. It's cool. Tariq Peters, what's going on, beloved? You ordered it? Awesome. Good. In Brooklyn. Yes, well, yeah, I know, sir. You in Brooklyn, so you know what I'm talking about. You know what? The last place I lived in Brooklyn was Herkimer. Dude, you want to talk about stabbings? And the hospital wasn't even that part because I played basketball and I was always at the shopping courts and everything. I was right then. That's when I was getting ready to head back to the Bronx. I had my apartment over there that I was working on, fixing up and everything like that. Very nice one. Big. And my rent was like $800. And that was a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was starting to go back to what it was like in the 70s. You dig what I'm saying? In the early 80s. And I just wasn't going to have that. That's why I got up out of there, because I would have, I'd have done something I shouldn't have done. Oh, Mac, what's going on, beloved? Yeah. That's what's up. Bad shit and worse. Like, okay. Oh, that's what's up. I can't focus on none but me. There you go. Herbo, what's up, beloved? Yeah, you can't. That's right. Focus. And that's what people need to be doing right now. Because can't nobody bring anybody in or out. We can guide, but we have to walk beside one another with our eyes focused ahead. Whether moving backwards or forwards, it's going to be that way. You know what I mean? We just don't want a calamity, a super catastrophe to happen. You ever been on a conveyor and that thing broke loose? Boy, I saw one time in New York break loose, man. Whoo, child, that thing, man, I'm glad I wasn't over there. Nobody got too bad hurt. Somebody got a broken ankle, but the things flew out, and man, I was like, I thought a bomb went off, man, escalator, It's good to have you up in here, beloveds. PD, what's going on? That was dope. I appreciate it, beloved. You're in traffic? Oh, okay. Well, be careful there, beloved. You know what I mean? Has anybody heard? Where's Chatta High at, man? What's going on with Chatta High, y'all? I was looking. Let me make sure again. Let me, when I ain't heard from somebody in that long, y'all know I ask questions, but I was trying to find out. Chatta High bell, y'all. Last video was 2 months. Hope we get it together. Let me make sure. Yeah, man. 2 months ago, bro. He only got 29 views. Didn't I say we follow each other? What's wrong with y'all, man? Even original comprehensive was not 2 months ago, y'all. What's our brother Chatta High, y'all? Come on, man. We got to do better. T. Hines, top of the, hey, what's going on, Sidanelv? What's happening? Max V, what's cracking, beloved? What's cracking? So I was, I always, I don't get into worrying because that's negative energy and we create something. But yet, we have to stay up on one another. So I'm attempt to call him again today, and see what's going on. Somebody asked in the chat the other day. I didn't want to ask last week because last week I was like, man, I don't see no Chatta High chatting up in here. So I attempted to call him. So I'm attempting to call him again and see if I can leave a message or something. All right. I can only assume most are NPCs. Hey, it's possible, bro. It's possible. Look, I appreciate y'all. I've been on here long. I've been on here so, hey, baby. Girl, you came all late, man. I know. If you at work, I know. You made it an hour later. What's going on? How you doing, baby? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sit back. I gotta be easy with the tea because I drink a lot. Like I said, Too much of anything is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, picking daisies. Oh, okay, okay. Y'all see what they're trying to sell? Dandelion leaves. Man, as long as you ain't spraying no chemicals in your yard, you got dandelion them leaves growing up. Go and collect the damn dandelion leaves. You can eat those, people. Vitamin C and everything. Come on, man. I saw them selling them things in the store. I was like, and then somebody made a post. I was like, duh, you go outside when the leaves get they growing at the bottom of the dandelion to pick the damn leaves. You say, you see them little purple flowers on the side of the road, them lavender? Go and snatch them bugs up. They for you, the fruit of the earth. I mean, come on, the meat of the earth, man. Take them things back, frog. Get the purple heads in some hot water. Take the greens off them bad boys. Whip them up. Get the chlorophyll from it. Store it in the freezer. Come on, man. Like, come on. If you buy a stream, you in the South or whatever, right? You know they got everything poisoned. But damn it, walk 40 feet this way. 20, first walk 10. Dig a hole. Water come in, walk another 10. Dig a hole. Water come in, walk another 10. Water come in, that water is clean and full of minerals. But so you know, jihad and all that other stuff based on the bugs and these new age micro mosquitoes they pumping out, which they should be destroyed. Every craft that's spraying them, boil it just in case. You dig what I'm saying? Rosemary's the bomb too. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming in. Let me get off of here. Hour and 21 minutes. Come on. I need to sit back. And yes, you see my leg holster on. I was going to the range after having this little, I think I'm going to take a break because I cleaned everything up. Well, I got a couple of pistols I got to clean and one rifle I got to clean. That one stays locked and loaded. I mean, I can run another 5,000 to 6,000 rounds through it, but I'm going to clean it. Anyway, let me go ahead and shut this down. We'll be back about 12:30. All right. And we'll get our read on what, you know, it's going to be 100 years of lynching, Negro Project, and And then 5 o'clock, we'll come back with exposing and heaven bearers. Okay. Yeah, got to hit farmers market for that. Time is, you know, time. It depends. Well, it depends on where you're at. Right. And you should be able to. Well, I can't say you can find it up there. You would have to go into the mountains. Time grows at the base of the mountains. It does. It depends on where you're looking at and what's around them areas. You know what I'm saying? It grows everywhere. And be careful, all those of you who are now getting into scavenging for mushrooms. Please pull up an app and know what mushrooms. You see the orange, you see this and that red. Those things will put you beyond 6 feet under. Okay. Now people's right now it's the chanterelles and lion's mane. Just because when I get down there, we're gonna have. It's easy to go with mushrooms and all that, y'all. Lion's mane is fabulous. There's many different mushrooms, but you gotta have the right environment. You gotta, like I said, time for everything. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, the Cashapp's there. Tuesday and Wednesday, I will come back and check it. And if it's right, well, like I said, we'll sit up here and we'll together and we'll say, hey, what book do you think I should get? And the thing is to have the collection. And some of y'all might say, man, you got tons. Who are you to say what's enough when you're unaware of what book to actually go and pick up? And it's important that I do this. That's why you have librarians. You dig? That's why you have librarians. But just having a librarian is one thing. To have a storyteller and somebody who can put you in the right direction, I think that's priceless. See y'all here roughly around 2:30. Well, no, 12:30. 12:30. Because I think it's 10. I don't know. That thing's wrong. All right.